Congratulations on your new Basher. We designed these bikes specifically for kids in sizes of the 16-inch wheels, 20-inch wheels, and 24-inch wheels. These bikes come partially assembled in the bike box. We recommend you take it to a bike shop and have them build it up for you. But you know what? If you take your time, check out the video, you can do it. To build your new bike, you'll need items like chain lubricant, grease, pliers, 15mm and 1/2-inch wrenches, cable cutters or scissors, and metric Allen wrenches from 2 to 6mm. Your bike box may be sealed with glue, staples, or both. If yours came with staples, safely remove them with pliers and throw the staples in the trash so they're out of your way. Remove the bike from the box. Ask a friend if you need help. Don't forget to grab the parts box, training wheels, and the seat. Remove the packing material around the bike and use wire cutters or scissors to carefully cut any zip ties. Remove the 4 bolts from the top of the stem using a 5mm Allen wrench. Also remove the 2 pinch bolts on the side of the stem. Add a small dab of grease to the threads on each bolt before reinstalling them. Grease is super important here, so don't skip this step. Place the handlebar onto the stem while making sure it's facing the right direction and that the brake cable is routed correctly in front of the handlebars. Make sure that the clamping area of the handlebar is centered in the stem. Evenly tighten the grease bolt using a cross pattern to distribute pressure evenly. Reinstall the grease stem pinch bolts. Now it's time for the seat and post. Take a small dab of grease and wipe it around the inside of the seat tube. Look at the sides of the seat post for a line indicating its minimum insertion point. Be sure that the post is inserted into the frame to that level or further. Align the seat with the frame's top tube and then tighten the seat clamp using an Allen wrench. Get the pedals out of the parts box. You can identify the left and right pedals by the stickers on each pedal. Add a dab of grease to the threads. Attach the pedals using your hand to turn the spindle towards the front of the bike. When you're sure that the threads are seated properly, use a 1/2-inch wrench to tighten each pedal. Turn the bike upside down. Remove the spacer in the fork dropouts. Prepare to slide the axle into the fork dropouts. The safety washers should be on the outside of the forks so you can press their tabs into place. Tighten the axle nuts evenly on each side of the wheel using a 15mm wrench while making sure that the front wheel stays centered within the fork. Make sure that the retention washer hook stays in the hole in the fork dropout when tightening the axle nut. Straddle the bike and look down at the front wheel to see if it's in alignment with the handlebars. If needed, loosen the pinch bolts on the side of the stem to adjust the side-to-side angle of the handlebars. If the headset feels too tight or too loose, this can be adjusted using the bolts on the stem. Loosen the pinch bolts on the side of the stem and then use the compression bolt on the top of the stem to add or release tension. When you find the correct tension, tighten the pinch bolts to secure the stem. Be sure that your front wheel and handlebars stay in alignment during this process. Adjust the seat to a comfortable height and check that the seat clamp is holding it securely in the frame. Use the seat clamp to adjust the angle of the seat as well as the seat's position on the rails. Evenly tighten the seat clamp on both sides. Both tires will need air. Use a pump to inflate them using the PSI guide on the tire sidewall. Don't use higher or lower air pressure than what's printed on the tire because using too much or too little can damage your tire and rim. If your bike came with training wheels, they will be packed separately in the box. To attach them, remove the outer nuts on the rear axle. Make sure that the mounting plate is oriented correctly. Slide the slot of the training wheels over the axle and align it with the mounting plate. Attach the outer axle nut. Adjust the height of the training wheel to provide the right amount of support for your young rider, and tighten the training wheel on each side of the frame using a 15mm wrench. Make sure that the rear tire is the main point of contact with the ground and that the training wheels only hit when the bike is tilted slightly side to side. Your bike's coaster brake and rear handbrake have been adjusted at the factory. If needed, centering adjustments can be made to the handbrake by using a Phillips screwdriver to add or release tension to each brake arm. You can also adjust your handbrake by using the barrel adjuster on the brake lever. This can bring your brake pads closer to the rim. Use the lock nut to secure the barrel adjuster in position when finished. While you can do all of these brake adjustments yourself, we highly recommend taking your bike to a bike shop where a trained mechanic will be sure your brakes work correctly. Your youngster is almost ready to ride, but first go over every nut and bolt on the bike one more time to make sure they are all secure. The training wheels can be removed when the rider is comfortable on 2 wheels. For optimal performance, some riders take extra steps during assembly, including tightening spokes and greasing bearings. We'll cover those steps in another video. Now add the included safety items and go ride.